It's the NFL playoffs on EA Sports. No bigger stage than this one. Sold out MetLife Stadium, located just outside of New York City. Tonight, it's the AFC's turn to take center stage as we've got a wild card matchup on tap between the Cleveland Browns and the New York Jets. What twists and turns will January have in store for us? The NFL playoffs are officially underway. Braxton Berrios selected to bring it out. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
53, check, 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 check. 53 is the mic. 53 is the mic.
Quickly to the air is Wilson. Open man is Uzama. And getting this just shy of midfield, he'll spot it at the 49. 17 yards on the game's opening play and a quick first down.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
Get him, get him, get him. 53 is the mic. 53, check 53. Alpha.
Wilson. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
They are such a talented team at defending the perimeter and taking away throws to the outside. Great confidence, great skill.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Play action. It's Wilson. That is caught. It's Uzama. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 33. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another first.
I'll give them credit for a good read right there because they read the man coverage on the right side and sent the tight end a few steps down the field and then angled him to the left on a crossing route. And he was able to get enough separation on this play to turn it into a nice gain.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now, down at the 33. They'll run for the first time with Breece Hall. And only able to get 2 here, stopped at the 30.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defense in front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Hall again on 2nd down. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
They got to get to the 23 here on 3rd. Here's Wilson to throw. This pass out wide to Hall. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. That's going to bring up 4th down, only a gain of 2 there. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
And Lambeau will put this one through. Every possession in the postseason magnified. And look, it's just the opening drive. They didn't get the touchdown they wanted, but at least they got on the board.
They got on the board. They've got their home crowd into it as well. And remember, in the playoffs, the game slows down a little bit, so every point is precious.
Here's Raymond bringing it out. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. Watson and the Browns now with a 1st and 10 at the 20. Now a play fake, and it's Watson. Now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Carl Lawson. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10.
It may be cliche, but it is something that holds up over time, doesn't it? If you're the visitors, you don't want to let the crowd in the game early.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they did there. But you said also this defense, they're going to give them a lot of looks like we just saw there, aren't they?
They certainly are. They're a proud unit, and they're going to ride the momentum of this crowd with them, and that's why they got after them early.
So 7 yards from the 1st down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline. That 3rd down conversion good for 23.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And it is incomplete. Good positioning there downfield to break that one up.
Well, they certainly came out firing in this one. And while that one was incomplete, I can't imagine that'll be the last shot that they take in this game.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They give the Chubb out of the gun. And a pretty athletic run right there as he's going to get this down inside the 40. A good play there as the Browns strike for 16 and a 1st down.
Good running right there. And this is a man who was a 1,000-yard rusher in the regular season, so you know he's going to get his chances, and he picks up nice yardage on that one.
So in jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Going out wide, finds Chubb. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
And this is going to be intercepted. And the Jets are going to take over at their own 41. When I saw the pressure coming at him, that just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They'll start in excellent field position following the INT. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. From midfield now, here's Wilson. Flushed out right. That's caught by his tight end, Uzama. He will go out right near the 35-yard line. Already, he's top 50 receiving yards in this 1st quarter, and he's got a 1st down. $3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
41's coming. 41's the mic. Oh,
Now Wilson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Trey Brown. He's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Browns defense has a touchdown. Extra point right down the middle. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This will be fielded inside the 5. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
On first down, Wilson, flush to his right. Yeah, he'll find Hall. Yeah, he's got to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. It's another first down as they bite off 23 more on that one. Now it's Wilson. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10.
41's the mark. 41's the mark. Check 41.
To throw is Wilson. Looking for Cooper, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Grant Delpit. And the Browns are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line. And that now 2 interceptions thrown in the second quarter.
And you know, a lot of people look at these guys and they think to themselves that maybe, possibly, they're still thinking about the first one. And they probably are. I think in this case, he's just trying to atone for the first.
And that's caught inside the 30. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. That one good for 37 yards.
Big plays always wind up being a big theme as we get rolling in these playoffs, and the defenses that can avoid giving them up, but they're the teams that tend to go far. You may not eliminate those big plays, but if you can limit them, then you've got a chance to get to the ultimate game.
And a strong run there as he'll maneuver his way down inside the 15. They run again on first down, Chubb. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. Well, we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your...
And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. He'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Throwing on third down, Watson. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. It's a 9-yard gain, and it'll keep the drive moving.
Oh, Brandon, that's a gamer move right there. Facing third down, steps up, calls his own number, and nearly makes the house call. If I'm the coach, I let him take another one right here. Give him a chance to be the first one to hit the end zone after that effort he just gave him.
Chubb will score. Touchdown, Cleveland. So how about the season, Charles, that he continues to put together? That's now 25 rushing touchdowns on the year. That's getting into some very rarefied territory.
Yeah, it made you and I do a little extra homework prior to this one in anticipation because that one moves him past John Riggins with 24. He draws even with Emmitt Smith at 25 in 1995. Next up, Priest Holmes and Sean Alexander with 27. And the guy on top, LT, LaDainian Tomlinson, the Hall of Famer. He had 28 in 2006.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Throwing is Wilson. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
As soon as he leaked out and began his route, someone on the defensive side broke with him and arrived just in time to separate him from another reception.
Wilson. Got an open man. That's C.J. Uzomah. And he is going to have a Jets first down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8. Here's Wilson. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. And the Browns are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield. Now, I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me that he always told his teams when a mistake happens.
And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Anthony Schwartz, 51 yards. And the Browns continue to pull the playoff surprise as they lead big here on the road. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is up to 18 now. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. From the 6. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. They've got to be a little shell-shocked. Down double digits at home in the playoffs. Still in the first half. They've got to turn things around quickly. And that is incomplete. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. And the Browns are going to take possession of the football. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. After the interception, here's Watson. Throw left side, there's Schwartz with it. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage as we just saw.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Bo Melton, a 20-yard touchdown. And the Browns are able to add on to their first half lead. Point after, right down the middle. And the route is on here in this first half. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And not a great return here. He'll make it back only to the 10-yard line. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
To throw on 2nd and 10, Wilson. And now here is another interception. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Browns defense has a touchdown. Well, CD, we have seen it many times throughout the course of the season. This defense coming up large and snagging a big takeaway. But here they get not just the takeaway, 6 points as well.
And you just knew that for this team to advance, it had to get a big performance from this unit. And to this point, they've delivered.
Extra point right down the middle. And the route is on here in this first half. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This one fielded at the 5. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And with the score where it is, even though I think they'd love to get back to the locker room, they may be forced to try and get something out of this drive. And that is intercepted on the sideline. Wait, no. They'll say no. It was caught out of bounds. So this is just an incompletion here. I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Wilson. And my goodness, another interception. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Browns defense has a touchdown. Extra point splits the uprights, and the route is on here in this first half. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded right around the 8. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Final play of the half, it's Wilson. Forced out to his left. And I think the ball's out, and this one will actually go out of bounds, so no recovery. And that is how we conclude this first half. So we're at halftime of this AFC wildcard matchup as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, both teams try to avoid being one and done in these playoffs as we start the second half of this AFC wildcard game. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Browns drive about to get started. And they've been the better of the two teams through 2 quarters of play, much to the chagrin of this home crowd.
Yeah, this score is a surprise to a lot of folks at home, although not to my dad. He predicted the visitors would win. And maybe to the folks in the stadium. But you know who is not a surprise to, partner? This team with the football. They were very confident coming in.
Second down, here's Chubb again. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. They'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards. yards on 3rd down.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
And the throw there going to be incomplete.
That is certainly one way to frustrate a quarterback. Run those extra defenders on the field. Dime package, lots of speed, no space to fit into football.
And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Here's Berrios. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Jets offense will be backed up to start this drive as they've got it 1st and 10. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. They'll start on the ground. Hall. And some room to maneuver. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. 42 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Hasn't had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Off the play fake, here's Wilson. He'll buy some time right. His throw incomplete.
I'm sure it was a tough halftime trying to figure out some strategy to get things going. Trailing by a lot when they went into the locker room. He's just trying every avenue to spark his team here to begin the 3rd quarter. Not a lot going on that play, though.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. They go play action with Wilson. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Grant Delpit. And the Browns are going to take possession of the football. The number 7 usually lucky here. Not for him. 7 picks he's thrown in this game. That's only happened 6 times since 1960.
And I know that the most recent time it happened, the guy who threw him, he won a Heisman Trophy in college, so sometimes you just have a lousy game. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad career, but when you're talking about one game, 7, you're right, not lucky at all.
Yeah, Ty Detmer, the last to do it in 2001, to throw 7 picks. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. That good for 19 and a 1st down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their
under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sack back around the 8. It's a loss of 5 there on the sack to bring up 2nd and goal. Watson dumps this to his running back, Chubb. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. Now Watson on 3rd and goal. Eluding the pressure right. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Barton, I think he's got to be careful as he continues to try to extend plays because he's already been intercepted in this game. And the coverage, they continue to challenge all of his receivers downfield.
And his kick here is good. And that will extend their lead even further. Well, the only silver lining on the other sideline, CD, is that they kept him out of the end zone, but still, that's another 3 points added on to this large lead.
Yeah, no shortage of scoring or big plays on defense in this one. And even up by 4 possessions, still finding ways to create opportunities and capitalize with points.
And this will be a touchback. Berrios deciding not to bring it out. New York offense taking over for their next possession. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles. But and my goodness, another interception. And the Browns are going to take possession of the football. With that interception, he just set a record that nobody ever wants to set, and that's the most picks ever in an NFL game. 8.
The last time we saw 7, 2001, right?
Yeah.
Tight end. He's with the Lions at that time. To get to 8, are we sure he knows what color jerseys his team's wearing in this one?
I don't know. It has not been good. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. Running for it, here's Chubb. He's got the first down and more than that. And they move this all the way down to the 9. It's 1st and goal after they rip off a solid chunk of yardage in the ground game on a risky 4th down call.
Okay, you and I are sitting up here getting ready to analyze whether they should go for it or not. Did you see the quarterback just point to the sideline and say, everybody back, I've got this call?
Well, you knew this side of the field, they're in plus territory, 4th and 1. He wasn't coming off the field. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Deshaun Watson, a 9-yard touchdown run. And the Browns will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. Berrios going to bring this out of the end zone. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
One quarter remains for the right to survive round 1 here in the AFC. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They go play action now. Wilson. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion and would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion, but I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
By the skin of their teeth, they are able to convert on 3rd and inches.
And this is just a little touch pass. They send the receiver in motion, just kind of tap it forward to him. Now, it doesn't turn into a huge play, but they do pick up a first down, a nice, consistent gain.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Greg Newsome. And the Jets are going to get it back here just past the 35. The CD, that helps the home team as they try to erase this deficit. Give them the penalty for pass interference on the defense.
Yeah, and they certainly haven't been happy with what they've seen so far, have they? They're certainly hoping that that call now might get the fans back into this one.
Now Wilson on first down. He finds his man complete. That's Hall. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Now it's Wilson. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left. On second down, a run with Hall. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. 4 yards on the play, and that leads to the 1st and goal. So a decent deficit at this stage in the second half. 4-down territory?
No doubt about it. There's not a chance that he hasn't looked ahead and said, okay, if we gain yardage on this play, this is what we'll do going forward. If we lose yardage, this is the play call that I'll have ready.
And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
He kept it in his hands and tried to push it across the goal line himself, but the defensive front wouldn't allow him to do so, bringing up 2nd down and a bit farther.
They give it off here to the tight end. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. Tyler Conklin, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Jets are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. Point after by Lambeau, up and good. As they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Here comes the return from the very back of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. I'm just wondering, do they want to add on to this gigantic lead? My guess, given how they like to play and how explosive this offense is, Charles, that they're not content being up by this margin. They probably want more.
And if they do go and get more, oh, look out. At that point, let's just aim the camera for the post-game handshake, because that one might be a little bit on the tense side, the way that this one is turning out.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Watson. And this one is incomplete.
Partner, in the sportsmanship handbook, there's something to be said for calling the dogs off in a blowout. But these defenders, they also know this is the NFL, and it's their job to stop them, whether they're in the game or they're down by a handful of touchdowns.
He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now,
and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. The Browns send out their punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down leads us to 3rd and inches. They'll run with Hall. And he's going to have the 1st down, yardage to the 35. 53 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the 1st down marker was and getting there.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Wilson. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And boy, another ill-advised throw there as that will wind up incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Wilson. And now here is another interception. And the Browns are going to take possession of the football. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And, gosh, you look up at the scoreboard. They just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other side, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. John Franklin Myers picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Throwing now, Watson. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jordan Whitehead. And the Jets come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the statisticians as this ball game is now officially over. The Browns going to roll on as we say so long, everybody. Thanks for watching. That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. With that, we sign off from MetLife Stadium.
Choose the team you want to start your franchise with. Continue ahead to begin your franchise. Use the options on the left to edit league settings or change your role to a player or owner.